figure out the life you really want,
Yep.
then say no to everything that isn't that. Starting is about saying yes. Growing is about saying no. All right, guys, welcome to another episode of The Report. Today, I got a special co-host. I got someone who has not been on the podcast in a little bit, but she is probably my favorite co-host. I got Miss Alex Johnson. Alex, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me again. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Excited to be in the chair again.
It has been a little bit. And man, we are kind of coming out to the end of the year, the end of 2024. We just threw an amazing, incredible black tie holiday event just 6 days ago. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. We had so many cool, all of our investors out there, all of our mastermind members out there. We had close friends, but more importantly, we had an amazing evening. We donated almost $14,000 of Big Brothers Big Sisters. We were able to raise some money. So shout out to the folks that came out. The Yin Yang twins came out and did a performance. We'll be dropping that podcast. They performed for everyone, and we gave away a bunch of really cool stuff. Our sponsors threw in a bunch of cool swag and a bunch of cool stuff for the folks, and we gave away a 2025 Range Rover Sport to Brad Rice, one of our investors. Shout out to Brad. We love Brad. But man, what an incredible evening, huh?
I feel like I'm still like on an adrenaline rush from it. It was so much fun. Everyone looked amazing too. I will say everyone had a lot of fun dressing up. Everyone looked so dapper, and it was just cool to see people in a different light. Usually they're either like behind a Zoom screen or like, you know, you're just kind of in your activewear, whatever, but everyone had a lot of fun with it and crushed the black tie theme. So that was really cool to see.
What would you say was the highlight of the night for you?
Wow. I mean, it went by so quickly, I feel like. So it's just all one blur a little bit, because I feel like, you know, we said hi to everyone, we got in, we had the performances, but I think just seeing everyone connect and like just knowing that this is all within like the last 2 years of like building this community, and then like seeing everyone else interact and have such a good time, I think was a highlight for me, just to kind of look back and just know that, you know, this is a community that is all forward thinking, positive, and then like seeing them connect too, I think is really fun. But it was great to see everyone in person. Yeah,
that was definitely my favorite part as well. I literally, and you were there with me for a while, but I was at the front for the first 2 hours, greeting every single person that walked in the door, took photos with everyone, but it was just so cool to see all the looks on everyone's faces, to say hi to them, connect. And a lot of these folks, like, they've been investing with us or in our community for quite some time, and that was the first time for me meeting them personally. So that was really cool. We had folks flying in from all over East Coast. We had someone flying from Japan to attend. Like, it was so cool. And so, excited for the next one. Now we raised the bar. It's going to be, you know, because the first two, the Summer's Capital Holiday events we did here at the office where our podcast studio is located. And this year we're like, hey, let's step it up. And it was a sick 12,000 square foot property.
Turnout.
It was dialed.
Beautiful property.
But next year, I think we run it back at the same venue. Like, it was so cool.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good feedback, and we're just so appreciative for everyone that came out. You guys, like the people that showed up, really made the night. So it was really special.
And by the way, I just want to shout out, you know, all the podcast listeners as we wind down to the end of the year. Like, the listeners that have been riding with me all year and the ones that have been riding with me since the jump, like, I just wanted to say thank you so much. Like, this is why we do it.
2 years?
2 years now. Yeah. Almost exactly to a T. It's been exactly 2 years. And it's definitely grown a lot. It's come a long way. And the best part is we're just getting warmed up. But I just wanted to especially personally thank all you guys and gals out there listening to the show. It means a lot to me. And this is just the beginning. So anyways, that said, you know, I think as we wind down to the end of the year, it's very important to reflect. It's very important to, you know, look at the wins, look at the losses, and look and reflect on the entire year. We had a lot of wins. We had a lot of losses. That's just part of the game. And there's a lot of things that we did good, and there's a lot of mistakes that we made. It's part of the game, right? The mistakes are inevitable. I'm making, you know, dozens of mistakes every single week. That's just how the game works. That's part of the game, but that's how you grow. And so I think this time of year, it's very important to identify the things that you did good, and even more importantly, to identify the things that you're not good at. Maybe those are things that, quite frankly, aren't the best use of your time. and write everything down and get clear on what those things are that you're good at, the things that are working. And this game is about doing more of what's working and doing even more of what's working until a bottleneck arises that doesn't allow you to continue doing more of what's working. And then you take all of your energy and you go and remove that bottleneck. And then you go back to doing more of what's working. And that's really what this game is all about. And so I challenge all you guys and gals listening to this right now, that if there is one thing right now that is a bottleneck in your life, maybe it's something that you guys are currently doing. Maybe it's something that's consuming a lot of your time right now, but it's not the best use of your time. It's not something that makes you happy. It's not something that is making you money. It's not serving your future. It's not serving your brand. Then I challenge you to remove that one thing, or maybe it's a couple things, so you can double down on the things that you enjoy doing, double down on the things that are working, double down on the things that are actually making you money and actually moving the needle, because that's ultimately how you guys are going to win in 2025. We all have it from even a business perspective, but even on a personal level. Like I have things that I'm doing in my personal life that I'm like, you know what? I need to eliminate some of these distractions so I can double down on the things that are actually fulfilling for me. Speak a little bit about your personal. Do you have anything in your life right now where you're like, hey, like maybe I can remove this and do more of this?
Yeah, definitely. And I'm excited as it comes to the end of the year. I'm definitely excited to reflect. I want to make some changes. I want to like you said, focus on what's serving me and what is like making me into the person I want to be. And I think sometimes it's just so easy to get distracted. Like a lot is thrown at you. Like you just kind of are like reacting instead of like being conscious of making these choices. And I fall into that a lot. So I just really need to get clear, write everything down, everything I'm currently doing. And, if it's not serving me, just make a pivot. And I'm excited for that, excited to make some changes. I just really want to kind of step into the best version of myself and continue to grow, continue to surround myself with people that are going to help me do that. And so I'm excited. It's, we do a lot of it here, a lot of making pivots, making changes, making decisions, even if it's not the right one, just going with it. And then if we need to change it down the line, we're able to do that. But I think some people like feel stuck or feel like it's too late or feel like they're already going down this road, and it can get easy to just get sucked into it. But just knowing it's never too late and you can always make a change and you can like change the course of where you're headed at any point. So I'm excited for it, to kind of take some time and reflect on that.
And sometimes that might mean like, hey, like you got personal friends that are close to you that maybe you've been friends with for quite some time. And I think it all comes down to asking yourself like, hey, am I more likely or less likely to achieve my goals under these conditions? Am I more likely or less likely to achieve my goals under these circumstances? Am I more likely or less likely to achieve my goals under this current like friend group that I currently hang out with? And sometimes that might mean that you got to remove certain friends in order for you to level up. And this does not mean you need to remove them forever, but this means that you need to go through seasons of sacrificing certain things, seasons where you say no to a lot of things that are consuming your time, seasons where you say no to things that are going to prohibit you from growing. And again, it does not need to be forever, but this game is about seasons. So like I took a couple seasons this year for the first time in my life, 75 days no drinking. Then I did 100 days no drinking. And that saves so much time for me. Like think about all the time that I saved of not going out and drinking and being hungover and like operating at 50% capacity the entire next day. And so that saved me a lot of time, and I was able to reallocate that time into things that were, more serving to the version of myself that I wanted to become. And so, all you guys and gals listening to this right now, you guys all have things right now that are in your life that are not conducive with the person that you are trying to become. And I challenge you guys to go and identify those things and take action on them, because ultimately, we got 13 days left at the time of this recording until 2025. And I don't know about you guys, but I would say months is the best way to measure how much time we have left, not years. And so figure out how old you are today and figure out what average life expectancy is for male or female. I know for a male in the US, it's 77. I'm 39. Like, do the math. How many months is that? I have about 456 months left until that time. And again, that's not guaranteed. Right? Time is the one currency that we have that we don't know how much is left. And so think about that. And I always like to look at time in that perspective. And then it makes it a lot easier to take action on the things that I want to change. And so think about that and ask yourself, like, how do you want to spend these remaining months on this planet?
Yeah.
Do you want to continue doing the same thing that you're currently doing? Do you want to continue spending your time the same way you're currently spending your time? And maybe the answer is yes. Well, then continue doing it. But if it's not, and it doesn't make you happy, it does not fulfill you, and you know that you're not, living to your full potential, then I encourage you to go and identify those bottlenecks and take action on removing those bottlenecks. You can either delegate it, or you can just say, hey, I'm not going to do those things anymore.
Yeah. And I think it's easy to put off. Like, I think it's easy for people to be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll do it next week, or I'll start on Monday or next year. But I think the scary thing is like how quickly time passes, and even just making a small change. Like if you focus, which I know I need to get better at too, but like focusing on your daily actions, like one small or a couple small daily actions over the course, it'll compound, And so I think it's easy to put it off, but then it's scary a month, couple months, a year later, you look back and how did I get here type of thing. But I think focusing on what you can do in your daily routine, focusing on, is this going to get me where I want to go, and just making the small changes, I think it'll compound, and you'll look back in, weeks, months, years, and see kind of how it's changing your direction to more align with where you want to go.
Absolutely. And I think this game is like really about, I think the biggest mistake I see a lot of people making is like they're just taking on too many things, right? And we all get into this trap of like the bright, shiny object syndrome. And as we grow, more and more opportunities are thrown at us. Or maybe we do one thing and we're like, oh, that was really good. Now let me start a completely new thing and do two of them. And it makes sense. But it's like, no. Why don't you just double down on the thing that you're good at? And so we all fall into this trap. It's happened to me over and over. And I have to always remind myself over and over that's like, no, you have to say no to the opportunities. Those opportunities become better opportunities as you grow. And so you have to learn to say no to better and better things as you grow. But, all in all, figure out the life you really want, then say no to everything that isn't that. Starting is about saying yes. Growing is about saying no. That's the name of the game. And, like I said, 13 days left remaining in 2024. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. There's a lot of opportunity that's going to be coming our way, next year and over the next 3, 4, 5 years. The greatest transfer of wealth in American history is about to go down. 40 million baby boomers retiring in the next 6 years. A lot of wealth is going to change hands over these next 6 years, and there's a lot of opportunity out there. So if you're looking for that thing, you're looking for your shot, I'm telling you guys, it's happening. So get ready, and those that are ready are going to win the game, and I'm excited for it. Personally, I'm going to take a couple weeks here. We always take a couple weeks out of the office because the commercial real estate space kind of shuts down for a couple weeks during the holidays. So I'm going to be going to Australia. I'm going to be doing a lot of reflecting. So when I come back in the new year, I'm going to be ready to take action on my new goals and win the game next year.
Same. I'm excited. We're going to coming back in hot, the 2-day annual yearly meeting, which is always really, really good to kind of focus on what are rocks, if you will, but basically our company goals. And it's always very, very good, very, very kind of eye-opening. And I'm really excited for that. But end of the year this year, for me personally, I'm going to be doing some personal reflecting as well. Come back with some personal goals and then some company goals as well. And I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we got big Rick English coming into town. My business coach I've been working with for about 2.5 years, he always flies in for quarterly and annual meetings. So shout out to Rick. But again, I'll close out with this. If you guys are looking for your thing and you're like, hey, you know what? I feel busy. I feel stuck. I feel like I'm doing a lot of stuff right now. However, I'm not moving the needle, and you're just going. I challenge you guys to get clear. This happens to me all the time. Write down everything that you guys are currently doing on a list. Maybe it's 30 things right now that are consuming your time. Maybe it's only 20 things. And then go down the list and ask yourself, does this one thing serve me? Does it make me happy? Does it make me money? Does it build my future? If the answer is no, cross it off your list. And ideally, you should be eliminating a lot of things, saying no to a lot of things, and then doubling down on the things that serve you. And ask yourself, what is that one thing? If I did more of this, I would grow. And often that is the answer that you guys should be looking for. Again, I'm going to close out with this. Figure out the life you really want. Then say no to everything that isn't that. Starting is about saying yes. Growing is about saying no. Just the beginning. Happy holidays. She's Alex Johnson. I'm Rich Sherman's listeners. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.